Arkansas weather is unpredictable. Ensure your family's safety with a storm shelter from Menard Manufacturing. Made in Arkansas with reinforced steel walls and quarter-inch roof and floors, providing superior protection for your family. Menard shelters are simple to install, perfect for new construction, existing garages, or as a freestanding shelter. Features include multiple air vents, escape hatch, emergency lighting, and bench seating. Handicapped accessible models are available. Starting at $3,300, we have several sizes to fit your family's need. Visit menardproducts.com or call now to find a dealer near you.
Alright, good evening everyone, also the watchers. This is Senior Forecaster Cameron back here again, and I am here to give you guys a update. Well, not really an update, excuse me. This is our first outlook on the potential of severe weather as we get towards mid next week here. This is our first peek at it, and I'm going to go over what I'm currently thinking what's going to happen, how everything's looking in terms of guidance as right now. What you guys are staring at right now is the Day 6 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center as of last night at about, I think, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. They have a 15% risk area out basically along the Red River from Oklahoma down to northern Texas and over to extreme far northwestern Arkansas here, which does include, I believe, the Fayetteville area down to Fort Smith, even the Van Buren area over here. So I fully expect them to include most, if not all, the state down the road, probably with tonight's update or a future update this weekend, given that guidance is suggesting an event of severe weather here, an event of severe weather for Arkansas and Louisiana, and then severe weather could be possible once again for the southeast here. So I'm going to go ahead and read down to where they talked about Wednesday here. On Tuesday, a shortwave trough is forecast to move northeastward into the southern plains where over a moist and unstable air mass. Ahead of this system, a pronounced low-level jet is forecast to develop. This, combined with moderate to strong deep layer shear, will be favorable for a severe threat Tuesday afternoon across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. The setup for Tuesday involves a well-defined shortwave trough with a low to mid-level jet coupler, which will be favorable for a significant severe weather threat over the warm sector. For this region will add a 15% contour area to the southern plains for Tuesday. Would not be surprised if they go 30, especially with that wording. The models move an up-level trough across the western and central United States on Wednesday and Thursday, what they call for advancing southeastern across the Great Plains into the mid to upper Mississippi Valley. A corridor of moderate instability, coincidence with moderate to strong deep layer shear, is forecast ahead of the front, which will be conducted for severe thunderstorms each afternoon and evening. At this reason, model forecasts have large differences in timing of the front and position of the strongest stability. For this reason, we'll go predictability to low on Wednesday and Thursday. So more than likely seeing them putting the risk area out probably between with tonight's update or probably Saturday night and Saturday morning's update with this here. So not Saturday night, Friday night and Saturday here. So that's situation with the severe weather threat as of right now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the model guidance real fast here. Now, this is the 18Z, and given, like I said before, this is about a week away. I'm gonna step this back to the 12Z because I'm not a fan of using the 18Z or the 06Z. Those are installment based runs, and I never take too much stock in the 18Z or the 6Z runs. I always use the 0Z or the 12Z runs. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out for you guys here. Alright, now I wouldn't rule out the potential of some thunderstorm activity as you get towards Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Shouldn't be nothing too horrible, but we are here if things were to get out of hand on Saturday. There is a marginal risk down there along the Red River Valley for the potential hail here. So let's take you out to Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. There you are. There's your low pressure here. I'm going to go ahead and stop this so that way I can draw on the screen for you guys just so you guys see what I'm talking about. There's your low pressure here. Alright, there's your little mini cold front, and then there's that warm front. This separates the difference between cool and dry air and your huge warm sector here. So there's your obvious separation here, and this is where your greatest shear instability, and your moisture all is going to meet up here. So this would be the area, if you were to go with the GFS, to see the potential of severe weather would be in Texas, Oklahoma, and possibly even far western Arkansas late in the day on Tuesday here before this thing were to die off for the day. But then it picks back up on Wednesday here. So watch this. All right, here we are Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. All right, there's your front. Your front doesn't make it too fast because we'll go all the way till 6 a.m. that morning. Okay, so there's your front. All right, just like this. Give me 1 second here. So there's your front. There's your low pressure. Your front, excuse me. There's your front. Now here's your southeast ridge that's pumping in Gulf of Mexico moisture into the natural state here and into the southern plains and over in Mississippi and Alabama here. So the front is kind of hummed up. First of all, this can be a flooding threat if you were to look at it real good, because with a stalled front, you have these little waves, a little pressure that ride along it, and that's where you have the potential of seeing some heavy rainfall on the front. So this could be a flooding problem on top of the potential of severe weather, because these little disturbances as they're moving along the front puts somewhat of like a triple point setup over the state, and that's where you get the potential of seeing severe weather here. So you just have to time out these little short waves as they're passing through here. So the front's kind of stalled out. You're gonna have these little mini short waves that are gonna ride along the front here until this front can pass through. So you're just gonna have these little mini short waves that's gonna take advantage of your warm sector across most of the state, and that's where you have the potential of seeing severe weather as we get towards next week here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out just a little bit more here, and you can clearly tell right around 3 p.m. and right around between 3 p.m. 6 p.m. excuse me, your instability really takes off, and the 12Z GFS is suggesting right around 3,000 to 4,000 Cape. When you start talking values that high, that's where you have to watch out for the potential of explosive thunderstorms. It won't take much to get these thunderstorms going, and these thunderstorms will be lasting a long time, given they will have a great amount of energy with them. So that's something that we just have to keep an eye on. But like I said before, that's something I would like to see down the road as we get a little closer to it, and it just doesn't end there. I mean, there's a threat on Wednesday, there's a threat on Thursday, there's also a threat on Friday, until we can get this front through. And actually on Saturday of next weekend, you still have this thing kind of hanging around, and the longer this thing hangs around, you're gonna have repeated shots of severe weather across the natural state here. So there's your low pressure, there's your front. Your front's trying to make it. It just keeps getting blocked by that southeast ridge, and until you get that, you're not going to see much of activity. Well, you're not going to see much activity with that front making it further south. So that's something that we'll just have to keep an eye on with the GFS. That's just one model's prediction of what could happen next week. But if that front doesn't get out of here until then, first of all, you look at a flooding threat. Second of all, you look at a repeated severe weather event, because if the front just hangs around, you still have all the instability, and you just keep repeating yourself over and over and over and over again, almost like a summer pattern. Well, instead of having pop-up storms, you have pop-up severe thunderstorms in this particular setup here. So that's something, as I said before, I'm gonna wait and see, kind of look closer to the event before we make our final judgment call, because there is model guidance that says otherwise. As wanting to swing this thing in pretty good here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the preset rotation for the Canadian model real fast here. And the Canadian model is not terrible at severe weather, but I normally don't use it. But this is one of the faster models that I'm talking about. It completely swings that front through Wednesday and Thursday here, and you have these little impulses that ride along that front Thursday night and Friday, but it gets out of here relatively quick. Okay, so the front doesn't hang around like the GFS. The front comes in Wednesday. You still do have the potential of severe weather Wednesday evening and Wednesday night across most of that natural state, and you could also have another threat Thursday night and Friday with that little pressure that rides along the stalled out boundary. and then it gets out of here. So that's something with the Canadian. Well, that's also telling you guys that there could be a faster approach with the front here. So what we're dealing with here, and whenever we're looking for severe weather, we look for 4 things, which we call SLIM: shear, lift, instability, and moisture. All right. You have the moisture in place, you have the instability, you have the lift. All right. But the shear profile is what I'm looking at. In terms of the shear profiles, now it's not terribly strong with the shear. Now I want to warn you guys about something real fast. All right. Shear profiles are normally not forecast, are normally not determined until you're closer to the event, where you finally get samples in from the developed system and how strong it is. That's where you normally have a good handle on shear, because shear with these models, especially with them being 100+ hours out, is not going to be handled correctly, because you know you're dealing with an unstable system, so it doesn't know how strong the system is, so it doesn't know how to handle the shear very well, especially the GFS. So that's something that we'll just have to keep an eye on over the next couple of days as we approach mid to late next week here. So that's one thing I wanted to go over with you guys. But I do see us having a great amount of instability in play, because one, the time of the year, we're heading into May. Climatologically speaking, we would have that moisture and instability in play. So that's something we'll just have to fine tune as we get towards mid to late next week. Moisture will not be a problem. You've got the Southeast Ridge really pumping in that Gulf of Mexico moisture over our area, so that's a check mark. You've got the lift with that developing system out west in your front. So that's a check mark. The only question right now is going to be the shear and the timing. That's the only 2 questions that I have for this severe threat as we get towards mid to late next week. Because timing is very, very crucial whenever you're dealing with severe weather here in the natural state. Because as we've all seen, if timing is off, you're not going to see a thing. If timing is there, you will see something pretty huge. So timing is very, very important, and shear is very, very important. Also, everything needs to be in sync. We have seen time and time again with these systems, this spring, that they have looked good on paper a couple of days before the event, or a week before the event. As soon as you get 24 hours out, it's gone. All right. So that's something we'll just have to be aware of. That's the reason why I'm saying I'm keeping an eye on other model guidance. I'm kind of trying to blending my own experience here, because like I said before, even though it's 100 hours out, it's great, it looks good on paper, but let's see what happens as you get closer to the event, so that we'll be able to bring you guys a more accurate forecast, instead of just jumping off and saying this is going to happen even though we're a week away here. So guys, I have blogs. Probably I'm going to wait till probably Friday evening, Saturday, to make another blog regarding this severe weather threat, and then I'll have updates as we get towards this weekend here. But I would not be surprised if Storm Prediction Center put out a risk area before the week is out for most of the state. Excuse me. For the potential of severe weather to get towards Wednesday and Thursday here, and I'm thinking it's going to be mainly the entire state this time. I think they're more than likely going to put a big old 15% out for the state. I don't see them going 30 unless they go 30 out west on Tuesday here. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to this video, and y'all have a great rest of your Thursday evening.